All right, gentlemen, welcome to the JMach Podcast at the Patriot All-America. Thank you for allowing us to be here. I would like to start off by asking you, what are your guys' names and organization?
Yeah, so my name is Brandon Ramsey. I'm a West Valley Maverick. Been part of this event for going on 4 years after this, and we're an organization that's dedicated to the West Valley and raising money. And this event alone is really focused on supporting the veterans. But as a group of dedicated volunteers, the West Valley Mavericks are raising money and awareness for things that are important to the West Valley.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm Scott Duke. I'm president of the Trilogy Veterans Club up in Vistancia. 289 military veterans in that organization. And Veterans Village and coming down to this tournament is a mission, we call it. And it's a great event. And our goal is always to support military veterans in need or at risk. This fits right into our goals as a club.
Absolutely. So could you explain to me what the Patriot All-America is?
Yeah, so it's a elite golf tournament with the top amateurs from around the world that are coming here to the Wigwam to compete. But it's more than just a golf tournament. We're here to honor our fallen. And every bag that we have has a fallen soldier on the bag. And so when this tournament actually started kind of being introduced to the Wigwam, it was bringing some meaning to what we're doing, especially being so close to Luke Air Force Base and understanding the huge population that we have of veterans here in this area. And these players get a very unique perspective on what does it mean to not just play golf, but to be there and support those who are in our service. And so it's incredible.
Could you go a little bit more into detail about each bag that the golfer's getting? Because I think that's something unique and special that should be brought up.
Absolutely. So each player, they represent, whether it's their college, university, so they come from those different areas. And they represent somebody that's from their area or their school. And so Folds of Honor does a really good job for us in making sure that these bags really can resonate with each of these players. And so on the bag, you'll see their name, their branch of service, and there's a little bio tag. So these players are walking around understanding who they're playing for, and it's extremely impactful. And so post-event, you'll hear a lot of these players share the experience and how much it was more than golf, and they really want to be part of this tournament.
That is amazing. And I actually saw during the opening ceremonies that you have FBI agents on there, EMS, and all sorts of first responders. I think that's pretty cool that that's opened up, because personally, I do believe that police, firefighters, they go through the same stuff we go through, except they have to do it against our own people in a sense, right? So I feel like they're getting left out, but they're doing the same thing. So I am really grateful that you guys incorporated them. Scott, being a veteran yourself, what does this event mean to you?
It means the world to me, because it brings veterans from all over the valley together to share their stories, to talk with other veterans, to enjoy great golf, amazing golf. But being in that veterans village and hanging out with fellow vets that you've kind of gone the same path with. We listened to Mr. Nevins today, and just brings tears to your eyes, his story. And it reminds us of our stories. And being able to share those with other veterans it's priceless.
Have you been able to find that sharing your story, whether how in detail you want, has actually been helpful to you opposed to keeping it all in?
Yeah, it has. I served in Operation Desert Storm as an air traffic controller, stressful job. And being able to share that with other, even people that weren't air traffic controllers but did other jobs in the military, being able to share that, get that off your chest, if you will, it's well worth having that conversation with another veteran.
Okay, and while we're talking about veterans and mental health, how has working with the veteran community affected your mental health, whether it be negative or positive?
For me, it's positive. I mean, we, as president of the Veterans Club, I bring in guest speakers. We bring in Soldier's Best Friend that has their dogs that can go through our club and actually sniff out somebody that has PTSD. It's amazing.
Wow.
So it's absolutely positive. And again, being able to talk about it and not hold it in is good. It's good for the veteran. It's good for the family members to have that.
Yeah, and so for me, obviously working with this veteran, it's been fantastic. And not being a veteran myself and having veterans in my family, there are certain things, Josh, I shared it with you earlier. But for me to be a Maverick and to be able to create a space for camaraderie and be able to provide a safe space for these veterans to come together and support each other, that's just been tremendous. USA's support for Veteran Village and the purpose has been amazing. Yeah. And so for me, supporting veterans, especially in mental health, is creating a space like this where they can come and enjoy golf, but also build camaraderie, talk to each other. I know my conversations can be drastically different than a veteran to veteran. But I get the privilege to do that. And this year I got to work with Scott on Veteran Village, and it's amazing. It continues to grow, and veterans are loving it.
Exactly. And I'll just say this about Randy. Although he's not a veteran, I've never met a guy that wants to do more for veterans. I mean, he's always thinking, hey, Scott, would this look be good for veterans, or would the veterans like to see this? So he's always thinking about Veterans Village, how to make it better. And I think that's amazing for someone that hasn't walked the walk, but is so vested with military veterans. It's amazing.
Yeah, that Josh, is absolutely
thank
amazing.
You. Josh, I shared that story with you, so you kind of know the background of that.
Yes, sir. And I absolutely love how you're joining the community with the veteran community, because that's something I'm huge about. I don't want you to tell me that, like, I work on my mental health, but now I can only go out with other veterans. I feel like we need to rebuild our community together, regardless of our veteran status or not.
Very true.
Because we all have a story. And even though some people haven't been to war, haven't even joined the military or not, we've all had trauma, and we all cope and handle things differently. So that's why I like to bring community members onto the podcast to share your perspective, because we can stop judging you by your cover now and realize, oh, wow, he struggles just like me, but he handles it X, Y, Z.
Yeah, great point, Josh. Great point.
Thank you. And Scott, before my next question, I want to ask you, have you always been able to talk and share your story, or did you have a major breakthrough where you finally just let go and said, fuck it, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't have the stress that I didn't have PTSD. As an air traffic controller, we were kind of taken care of. You know, we were the only tent that had air conditioning. We only had to work 8-hour shifts. So we brought the planes in, departed the planes to go to war. So it was kind of different for me than again, listening to Mr. Nevin's story today. It's like, was I even in the military? Geez, I mean, his story was impactful. But for me, it was being able just to share, you know, my time in war and what I did and what others did. Yeah, it was helpful, very helpful.
Awesome. And last question I have for you, gentlemen. Do you believe golf can be a positive tool to battling mental health?
Scott, I'll let you take this one first.
I will tell you, I'm 68 years old. I just learned to play golf this year, and I suck at it. But being out, being with friends, there's nothing better. I mean, no one cares. I mean, I shot an 18-hole course the other day. I shot 188. I mean, and that was with a 54 handicap. So I should be frustrated and mad and everything. But it was just great. I was out with my friends, and we just enjoyed the day together. And golf, I think, brings that element to being together and, again, sharing stories. We talked about military. Guys I golf with aren't in the military, but they're so fascinated by it. They want to be part of it. So it was a great day of golf. And golf does that. I mean, it brings that team together, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've seen it firsthand here. The fact that we can get people out doing physical activity, getting sunlight, building that camaraderie, building that community. I think golf's a perfect sport, whether you're playing or watching the game. Even at this tournament right now, seeing the veterans watching and seeing the hole and just coming together, golf is an outdoor sport, and you can play till you're potentially 100. So the Fairway organization that came out here for veterans, they advocate highly with whether you're good or you're not good, but what better way to get out and connect with people outside of your business, outside of your life. But it was one thing too, growing up with sports, it's an opportunity for you to separate yourself and really be in the moment and support each other. So
you got to get out of your own way to hit that golf ball, or else it's going right into that pond.
I also suck, so we would be a horrible pair to play with each other.
I feel like we need to do a trio, because I feel like golf is the most stressful, stress relieving thing I've done.
Yeah.
Like my club may end up in the tree, but I'm going home pretty happy probably.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I actually think I forgot. Can you go a little bit more into detail about the Veteran Village and everything that has to bring and offer?
Absolutely. So this was last year. Pat Fitzhugh, he said he wanted to create an opportunity for us to bring veterans together in resources and really kind of share stories. So last year we launched Veteran Village, and it was really our first go, our first try at it. And we wanted to make sure that we had all sorts of veteran organizations represented, because you never know kind of what resource would be beneficial for a veteran, and even communities and families. And so this year, thank goodness, Scott came in and said that he wants to help lead it, and he was a lifesaver and really help transform it. So now it's more of a village driving the engagement. So not just with veterans, not just with first responders, but everybody, community coming in, welcome, learn. And so this is our second year of Veteran Village. It's only going to get better and grow further, but guest speakers, games, we've got a World War II Jeep out there now, but Veteran Village is here to exactly what we talked about with golf, is build that camaraderie, bring them out here, enjoy the sunlight, look at some golf, look at some good players that will crush us. So that's Veteran Village. And Scott, I know you've added some amazing additions to the village this year. So.
Yeah, we're excited about it. In our club, this is our last sort of mission at the end of the year, and I always ask for volunteers in the club, and I think I have 51 that volunteered for this tournament. So it's a big one. They like doing it, and Veterans Village excites them because it's sort of their home. They can come in there. And as Brand said, there's cornhole if you want to do that. If you need help, there's VSOs that are sitting there that are willing to help you. And then listening to these guest speakers. We'll have another great one tomorrow, and listening to their stories, and then kind of thinking about your military career. And then just looking around the village, and, there's a Marine over there, and there's a sailor there, and they got their story. And the village brings all that together, because you got to be a veteran to get into the village. And it just makes it for a great time. We do about 30-some missions a year in support of military veterans. This is the one that I never have to beg anybody to go out and do. When are we doing it? Same time next year. So it's a great event. And Veterans Village, so proud of it, especially this year because I got to be involved in it. So proud of how it looks and how it feels, and the people that are coming in and enjoying the aspects of the village. So it's a great village.
He had fun tracking all my emails. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I do send a lot of emails.
I like the Veteran Village because it gives us veterans a safe place, whether we want to admit that we need one or not. We can go to a public event, but have a little section that we feel safe and comfortable in, like opening ourselves up a little bit so we can eventually grow to be out on the golf course and all that.
Yes.
Lastly, I know I said that already, but let's highlight the benefits of being a veteran coming to this event. I know you have an area for Gold Star families, which is a great topic I would like you to touch on as well. But what other options do veterans have? Can they just go to the village and that's it, or what?
Yeah, so this is a veteran event, a veteran first responders event. It's complimentary VIP. So veterans can come and enjoy Veteran Village, really connect, but they can also walk to the VIP tent for free food, drinks, and a great location to watch the 18th hole. And it's such a great opportunity. I mean, these tickets are $150, if not more.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I wasn't part of that. But we want to make this event completely accessible for veterans. And so you'll see they'll come to Veteran Village, they'll get their wristband, they'll go right into VIP. And even better, we have the Patriot Unplugged this year, which is Aaron Nichols playing, access to that. So they can actually come and be part of that concert as well. So want all the veterans to come out. This is a veteran event. It's your event. We want to make sure that we're fully supporting you in that way. So beautiful sun and some loud music and some camaraderie.
That is absolutely amazing. And gentlemen, Brandon and Scott, again, thank you so much for having us here, the podcast, as well as being a part of this and making it a mission of your own to make it better for not only the community, but especially for the veterans in our area. I just want to thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.